There's some kind of bird of prey on my lawn. What are you? Where's my phone? Hello my planty pals, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Pearl and this is my channel, Plants with Pearl. I live in Canada, I grow tons of houseplants in my basement, and then this spring and summer I list them on our website and we ship them all over Canada. It's a great time, you should check it out. If you live in Canada, stop what you're doing right now. Go to our website, www.plantswithpearl.ca, and make sure you sign up for our newsletter so you know exactly when we start shipping again for the 2023 season. It's almost here. We recently added our new plant apparel line designed by yours truly. Got some really fun, sassy plant parent t-shirts, so check it out. That's also on the website. While you're at it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really love that so much. We're getting really close to 100 followers. I just need like 22 more of y'all, so come on guys, let's do it. So for those of you who don't know, I live in Ontario and it is the beginning of February right now, so we are right smack dab in the middle of winter. There hasn't been that much snow where I live, but it has been very cold and very cloudy for many weeks now. And the sun's out today, so I'm feeling fresh. Also, I plantified my YouTube area. Look how cute. Do you like it? I like it. I love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea why I put off putting plants in this area for so long, but that's just who I am. We don't have to talk about it, it's okay. But look at her now, she's cute. So up until this point, most of the videos that we've done on this channel have been for our Plants We Grow series, but today we're gonna switch it up. And I am going to go around the house and we're gonna take a look at our personal collection. We've been growing our collection for probably about 8 years, 8-ish, 9-ish years now. I have a couple originals, maybe just one, maybe two. In terms of collecting, I definitely classify myself as a philodendron girl. Yeah, I just love philodendrons. They're great. So there's going to be a lot of philodendrons and some monstera, and then a couple little wild cards in there as well. So yeah, let's take a look at my plants. Hello, it's Pearl from the future. While I probably could have predicted this, as it turns out, I have a lot to say and I talk too much. And so what I thought was going to be a one-part tour of my plants has actually turned into a 2-part. And a little disclaimer, I am by no means a super aesthetic houseplant parent. You'll see very shortly. I have pots of all different types, shapes, sizes, color. I just use whatever's available and I think we should normalize that. So enjoy part 1 of my plant tour and we will see you next week with part 2. Thanks. I figure we may as well start off where we are. So let's do it. Of course, this guy is not new. This has been up here since the very beginning. This is my Scindapsus. I want to say Exotica. I've had this guy for a few years. She's definitely gone through it. There have been times where she has not had enough water, but she lives to tell the tale. Alright, so let's start with one of the OG plants. This is my ponytail palm. This is the only plant that I have that actually still has a name. When I began collecting plants, I used to name them, but that had to come to an end really quickly. So this is Mr. Tree. At the very beginning, I didn't like the way that some of these had brown tips. So I gave it a haircut, and so half of the leaves just had these really blunt edges and it looked awful. I don't recommend doing that. One of a couple philodendron Florida ghosts that we have. This plant was actually on a 4-foot pole until recently when we cut it all the way back. I had every intention of throwing this pot out and I actually stopped watering it, but then one day I was walking by and it was trying to regrow. So hey, if it wants to live, I will support that. So I started watering it again and now she is literally thriving. So, Next to our ghost, we have one of our parent plants for our Standoliana. This plant probably should be retired. She is exhausted. Yeah, look at that. Also, part of my YouTube set, we've got my Philodendron Golden Spear. This guy is really having a great time. Look how thick this stem is. Ooh, she's juicy. These guys have really crazy air roots that grow out. Definitely benefits from the support of a pole, so you can get those nice big juicy leaves. I don't know why more people don't love these plants. I think they're really cool. But behind my Philodendron Golden Spear, I have my Philodendron Painted Lady, and she's tall. So this is a 4-foot wooden dowel just from the hardware store. It's a little wibbly wobbly, but it's enough support so the plant feels nice and comfy. One of our other new additions to the YouTube area is one of my Philodendron Micans. Ooh, look at that. She is really, truly in her element. And here we have my Philodendron Ring of Fire. Oh, these plants are so pretty. Look at this leaf. It's almost all variegation and just a little bit of the actual green color. We love that. And there's a little bit of remnants of that cool orangey color that the variegation is when they come in. We've got a Philodendron Giganteum. This is a reverted blizzard. If you watch my video on the Giganteum, which I will link right now, you'll remember I said that even the ones that revert, they don't fully revert. The variegation comes back really slowly, and you can see here, this was fully reverted, but we are, hopefully you can see that on camera, but she is starting to recover a little bit of variegation here and there. So she's just taking her time. She's beautiful, healthy, so she lives. I can't tell you how many times I said to myself I was going to stop watering this subhastatum and just let it die, because it was supposed to be a variegated one, and she's not variegated. We took a bunch of cuttings off of this plant and all of the babies came out variegated, but this plant did not grow back variegated. So I mean, yeah, this is, I always intend to just let this plant die, and then when it comes watering time, I'm usually in a good mood, so I just give her some water, and she survived many months longer than I thought she was going to. This is my heartleaf Philodendron. She just lives on top of this cabinet here. She's got some little traily guys coming down. I also have this one that I'm gonna wrap around this wall to climb up here. And she had a really long vine that was hanging down to the floor, so I said, you know what? She's gonna go up, so that is going over in that doorway there as well. And oh look, it's another plant climbing another wall. So I really love to take my plants and just throw some command hooks and put them up on my wall. I just love the way it looks. It makes it feel extra jungly, and so I just put plants up on the wall and I call it decor. This is a golden pothos that I have on my bookshelf that comes up over the doorway here, and there's a little bit of a traily situation also happening. This neon heartleaf or lemon lime heartleaf, I can't remember exactly which it is called. This beauty is actually one of the very first plants I ever ordered off of Etsy back in 2019. Can you believe this plant started out as 2 barely rooted cuttings that I received in the mail? Got another cutie hanging plant hanging out beside there. This plant is actually much older than it looks. I recently cut it way back. I cut off several vines that were like between 12 and 17 feet long, and I repotted a few cuttings back into the pot, but she was desperate for a reset. She is my Marble Queen Pothos. Also hanging out in the same window, and also a plant that I've had for much longer than it looks. This is my Neon Pothos. And this little guy is our youngest pothos. This is my global green pothos given to me by a very good Planty friend. and she's looking good. Started out as 3 little teeny tiny cuttings, and now she's graduated to small plant status. And this little area I lovingly refer to as Alocasia etc. corner. I mean, if you look, you can kind of see why, because like I previously mentioned, most of my collection is philodendrons, but then I have this little corner of random assorted plants. This beauty, this is my Alocasia zebrina saurian. Really pretty, fun plant. I like the way the leaves kind of just poke out. She's getting nice and tall. They're doing good. The leaves come out nice, they're getting bigger. It does like to only have 2 or 3 leaves per stalk at a time though, so whatever, it's fine. It's still growing, so we roll with it. Here are 2 philodendrons I got from my favorite local planty place, Colasantes. We've got a Prince of Orange right here with a new leaf coming out. Oh, look at that. In a head. And this is my philodendron Moonlight. I brought these 2 home at the exact same time last year for my birthday, so I've had them for just over a year. Actually, I think they were part of my very first. These guys are part of the whole. Yeah, my first video where I talked about plants with pearl. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so this is what they look like now. And then coming down, we've got a philodendron white wizard. Down here, we've got a watermelon Jashija, just waiting to take off. Now, this is probably super chaotic, and I'm sorry, but this is me. Look at those sweet, sweet little flowers. Oh, they're so small. So I'm going to let these little tendrils, because they really like to reach and grab and grow and climb. So I'm gonna let this guy, I'm gonna encourage it to climb up this plant stand, and I think it will look really cool. All right, so until very recently, this was a one-off. This was my only calathea. It's a pinstripe calathea. I got it because I just love the way that the pink looks like it's painted on. They're so pretty. Her leaves were little when I got her. They were like this big, and now she's giving me hand-sized leaves, which is cool. Here we have another singleton. Until I got this plant, I always said that I hated Hoya and that I couldn't figure out Hoya. I still don't really know what they want. This Hoya Crimson Princess, I also had for a year, and there is 3 tiny plants, or there was 3 tiny plants in that pot. They've now kind of thrived and taken over. And yeah, I'm just letting her do her thing. I don't overwater her. She sits right here in her window, gets lots of bright light. I still don't understand Hoya, but I think she's really pretty. Here we have my black velvet alocasia. These guys bloomed for me last year, and they never went dormant. So some of these leaves have literally been there since it bloomed, and they didn't die. And I continued to get leaves after the bloom happened as well. So I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but just don't panic. Like, if you just want to see what happens with your plants, they're blooming, just let it happen. See what happens. And then here is my very special baby, another alocasia. She's not thriving, but she's surviving. This is a variegated alocasia poly, and I found her in the table with all of the normals. So I scooped her up because, I mean, look at this. She's super beautiful, very variegated. Again, she's not dying, but she's certainly not thriving, and that's probably my fault. I do have her in this little box. Sometimes I put the lid on it just to give her a little bit more humidity. But the other day her leaves were waterlogged and she had too much humidity, so she's been drying out a little bit. This is Alocasia Bambino. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm honestly very neutral about this plant. It's fine. It can stay. I mean, I'm definitely liking the leaves as it gets a little older. But yeah, it's fine. It's a plant. And we've got 2 big plants that aren't big yet, but they will be. I've had my banana plant as well as my bird of paradise for, I want to say probably about 6 months now. And they have They went through a nice quarantine period. They have adjusted to our home, and yeah, they're having a good time. I'm super excited for them to get big. I just want to have some nice big plants, and I know that these two are gonna get nice and big for me nice and quickly. So thank you so much for watching part 1 of my plant tour. Part 2 will be up before you know it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I'm so excited. Really, thank you so much. And don't forget to check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Head over to our website, www.plantswithapparel.ca. Check out our apparel and make sure to sign up for our newsletter so you know exactly when we start shipping again. See you soon.